Bro.
Yeah, what's up, my peoples out there? This LG, kicking it with Jay again. Ready to share a little bit more. This poem that I got that's called this time is To Judge or Not to Judge. Whether I'm innocent or guilty, you want me to argue the law. If I should show remorse for my decision, you want no apology at all. Why are we going back and forth when you know what I'm presenting won't cause you to budge? All rise for the honorable to judge or not to judge. I petition this court for relief, yet all I find here is terror. Legislation that is antiquated, chalked up as harmless error. You were sworn to uphold the law, but the law upholds a grudge, especially against people of color, to judge or not to judge. The poor can't pay for a defense. Bail is out of the question. You know a meritless claim when you see it, but you can't see the prosecutor's aggression. You understand the terms of your plea? Sort of, but the state won't even nudge. You don't have to sign if you don't want to judge or not to judge. Court date after court date, transcripts for miles, tried by a jury of our peers where the system should be on trial. But who adjudicates such matters? Who oversees the floods? Or is the matter just too deep to judge or not to judge? To judge those who have no understanding, to judge not those whose standards should be higher, is to overlook the old saying, to whom much is given is required. To judge only the judicial, to judge not legislators and execs, is to allow the scales to go unbalanced and your colleagues unchecked. Judge righteous judgment, for the people are oblivious of it all. They hope the system will act in good faith, and mercy will accompany the law. If mandatory sentences take away your discretion, and the time given is sometimes too much, then call into question where you're sitting, to judge or not to judge. That's it.
All right. Well, I like that for sure. You definitely got talent. So let me ask you, the words was very clear, but what exactly motivated you to actually write about it?
Excuse me, I had some little noise in the background. Can you say that again?
I said the words is very clear, but what actually motivated you to write something about it, talking about it and stuff?
Well, I believe not just the judges that we see in the Supreme Court or in your everyday courtroom, but everyday people often find themselves in seats of judgment. Mm-hmm. But it's funny how when it benefits them or it benefits their colleagues or their contemporaries, they're ready to judge others. Mm-hmm. But if you really can judge and adjudicate in such matters, then you should be able to also see the other things that's going on, even if you have to judge your colleagues and your contemporaries. So I find it kind of ironic that you're sitting to see the judging, but at the same time, you don't want to judge what you should be judging. And so we got all these laws in place, and we know the system has taken advantage of the poor, of those who, of brown and black skin. And we even see it with our bail systems. And if we can judge, sentence these people and give them these crazy, terms through mandatory sentences, then we also should be judging those who are creating legislation, who are creating the laws, the execs and everybody else. It shouldn't just be a judicial thing. We should be judging the whole system. So that's what made me come up with the title, To Judge or Not to Judge.
Okay. That's dope. I really think that's dope. You got that ability with them words, bruh. You know what I mean? So what you been, have you wrote anything new?
Actually, that was new. This came about because, I was at work, and this actually was just a few days ago. I just heard a person get to talking about, their court case, and I was just like, man, to judge and not to judge. And I just started writing from there.
Oh, okay. So before we let you go, bro, you got anything else you want to say or share?
Yeah, just, again, what I said earlier, we all sometimes sit in the seat of judgment. And I just think it's important that you judge fairly. One of the ways that you can judge fairly is try to get the whole story. Just don't see it, in one dimension or just from that place of where your bias stands out. I think it's important that you get clarity on these things first, and make what they call in science, a hypothesis, an educated guess, with that hypothesis. So I think that's important.
I think you're right, bro. I appreciate you for sure.
No problem.